just going to keep missing out on your blessings. Because when you sit and you're comfortable and you keep being disobedient to God and not doing what He's told you to do, He's going to hold back from you. People keep saying, and usually it's the people who come to me and say, well, Pastor, I know what God wants me to do, and I need to start doing this, and I need to start doing that, but I just can't do it. Those are the very people who will complain to me that God hasn't done this and God hasn't done that.
Come on now. Amen.
The very same people. God is saying to you, if you really want those blessings, if you really want me to move in your finances, if you really want me to move in your relationships and in your health and in your personal life, then you need to get up and move first.
Amen.
You need to prove to me just how bad you want. Amen? We want a free ride, don't we? We want everything just catered to us. We think God is just there to let us sit back and, I'll take, oh yeah, Lord, I'll take that. But God, I'm not going to do anything for you.
Come on now.
We need to get up out of our spiritual lazy chairs and get busy for God. Amen?
Amen.
The fourth reason that we resist change, and this one is always a big one for me, is uncertainty. We don't like to take that leap of faith if we don't know where our feet's going to land. Do we? But seriously, if I took you out somewhere and I put you up on a 5-foot place, and let's make it bigger now. Let's say 10 foot. And I said, okay, there is a cushion underneath here for you to fall on. And I promise I've got it where it needs to be. I'm going to blindfold you. You just jump. Most of us wouldn't do it, but sometimes that's what it feels like when we listen to God. We don't know how it's going to turn out. And that's why we hesitate. Well, God, if I knew for sure that when I take this new job, that it's going to be something I like, and I'm going to like my coworkers, and my boss is going to be really nice, and I'm going to get all the promotions and the raises that I feel I deserve, if you could just let me know that ahead of time, I'll take it. Well, God, if I knew for sure that when I step out in faith and I do this, that I won't fail, I'll do it in a heartbeat. God, if you could just send an angel to my bedside to tell me, yes, that's what I want you to do, and this is how it's going to turn out. That's really what we would like. Amen? I'm not going to lie. I'd love to have an angel come by my bedside sometime and say, this is how it's going to be in a year. Because then I feel okay about doing it. But here's the question. Is there really any faith involved if God already lets us know how it's going to turn out? If He already lets us know, okay, I promise if you do this, this is the pretty picture you get to see at the end. There is no faith involved in that. You see, our faith is built and our faith grows when we step out even when we're uncertain. Amen. When we follow God even when we're not sure how it's going to turn out. That's true faith. And you know, we really shouldn't doubt God anyway. Amen. To be honest with you, how could we ever doubt God? I really can't see God saying, okay, take my hand, this is where I'm leading you. I'm leading you into this place. I'm leading you into this situation. And then a couple months down the road, God going, oh man, I got that wrong. Sorry about that, my bad. I just really cannot see God doing that to us. God has never led me where He doesn't keep me.
That's right.
Never, ever. If He tells me to go, He's going to take care of me. And if He tells you to go, He's going to take care of you. We need to give God a little bit more credit than we do sometimes. Amen? Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. God already has a plan. We just need to listen to His voice and trust Him. You see, that leads me to my final point. Our biggest problem, really and truthfully, is that we struggle to trust God. Now, some of us don't like to admit that, but it's the truth. Every person sitting here goes through times when you have a hard time trusting God. Amen? Amen. If trust wasn't really a problem for us, then everybody here would just be embracing change. There would be no sleepless nights. There would be no worries. There would be no stress. There would be no biting our fingernails. There would be no calling 15 million people. Well, do you think I should do this? Do you think I should do that? If we really trusted God, then when he said go or do, we would just embrace it and do it.
Amen.
That's the kind of trust I want to have, where I don't question it. Where when he says something, I know it's true and I just obey. But the truth is, we don't have that kind of trust. Some of us may have more than others. And we need to grow in our faith. We walk around sometimes, don't y'all get mad at me.
Yeah, girl.
You're in church, not supposed to get mad in church. We walk around sometimes to praise the Lord. I trust in God. And then the next minute God says, okay, you know that person who treated you bad yesterday? Go buy them dinner. What'd you say, God? Come again? I know you didn't just tell me, oh, but a few seconds ago, oh, praise the Lord, I trust in God. Do we really mean what we say? Do we really trust God? Or God will say, well, if you trust me, then all of those gifts that you've been sitting on, all of that talent that you haven't been using, all of those things that I've been telling you to do to help and support your local church, go out there and do it. Well, God, I'm just not ready. I thought you trusted God. Amen?
Amen.
I believe that trusting God is the key to successful living.
Amen.
I really do. If you want to have a successful life, I can tell you one thing that will guarantee you to have a successful life. Trusting God. Everything you do, just trust in God. Whatever He says to do, do it. Wherever He says to go. We need to stop resisting change and embrace it. Maybe you're here today and you've been wrestling with some kind of a change. Whatever it may be. Maybe you've been afraid. Maybe you've been uncertain. Maybe you've struggled with trust, or maybe you just know you got to do it, but you just don't want to. Sometimes we just don't want to, right? Amen?
Amen.
God spoke to me about the beginning of this year about some changes that need to come, and one of them was some changes that need to take place in me. I said, God, I don't want to. But now I'm embracing that change. Maybe God's trying to lead you in a direction that makes no sense whatsoever. Sometimes God will tell us to do some of the strangest things.
Amen.
And if you're like me, I like for everything to make sense. Even if it's crazy, I'll say, okay, God, that is a little crazy. Can you just kind of explain to me why? Explain it to me, and then I'll be able to do it. We don't need to understand. We just need to hold His hand.
Amen.
Amen? Even when it doesn't make sense, follow His voice. 1 Corinthians 2:9 says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no mind has imagined what God has prepared for those who love Him. Tell your neighbor you need to embrace change. Now, if your neighbor looked at you and said, why? Here's why. As Cheryl Crow says, because a change will do you good. Amen. God's wanting to do some good in your lives. He's wanting to bless you and take you forward and move you where you need to be in your destiny, but you need to embrace the change. You ever heard that old saying, nothing ventured, nothing gained? Well, some of you don't venture anything. Truthfully, you don't. Some of you are bored silly with your life. You're depressed. And you're bored. And you even have thought, is this all there is? No, it's not. But in order for you to have a better life, you need to embrace change. God is calling some of you into some change. He wants some of you to get out of the rut you're in. Now, I know there's some people here in a rut. I may not know everybody, but God didn't give me this message for people who were embracing change. It's for people who aren't embracing change, right?
Amen.
And if I can just say this, some of you need a change.
Amen.
You really do. Some of you have been going around the same old mountain over and over and over. It's almost as if the devil has you by the nose